how do you use business credit for real estate investing? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to decode right now today during this training. During this training, you're going to understand how you can actually use business credit to do like almost every different aspect of real estate. We're going to talk about using business credit to acquire properties. We're going to talk about using it for fix and flips. We're going to talk about for short-term rentals and furnishing short-term rentals. We're even going to talk about it for repair and maintenance of the properties you're actually buying. Look, business credit works in every different part of the process. No matter what your actual strategy is for real estate investing, no matter what type of real estate investing you're doing, business credit could be the most powerful tool that you have to get the money that you need to be able to do and work with more properties. So by the end of this training, you're gonna have all the details. We got a lot to cover. Let's dive in. All right, so when we talk about business credit, keep in mind there's a lot of different types of business credit out there. So first of all, we can take a look at what actually requires a personal guarantee, what actually does require a personal credit check. And don't get me wrong, most of today's training, I want to talk about no personal guarantee business credit, how to get it, what it can do for you in real estate investing. But let's start and say that you have good personal credit. You're willing to provide a personal guarantee and credit check. Well, then in that case, you're able to get credit cards upwards of $100,000 to $150,000, even as a brand new investor, even as a brand new business. As a matter of fact, this is one of the best programs out there called Credit Line Hybrid that works really well for real estate investors when they're just getting started. Because if you have good personal credit and only that, nothing else, you're still able to get upwards of $150,000 in financing. And just yesterday, we had somebody approved for $137,000 in financing with this kind of credit. So why does this kind of credit perfect for real estate investing? Well, first of all, it's universal credit. Visa cards, MasterCards, Amex credit cards, and the source, especially if you're working with like a credit card stacking source, they can even help you liquidate these credit cards and take the cash out of these credit cards with interest rates as low as 0%. So a lot of these credit card companies will give you 0% interest for up to 18 months. So you can imagine being a real estate investor, getting $150,000, taking that out and having $150,000 in cash at 0%. Now you're able to invest that in, start acquiring properties, start flipping properties, keeping properties, and you could do that for a year and a half before that 0% period expires. Now, a lot of people are using this program in combination of other kind of business financing. Let me give you an example. If I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking to not do a fix and flip, I want to buy the property and hold it, maybe for an Airbnb, short-term rental, maybe for a long-term rental. Well, in this scenario, then I can look at what's called a DSCR loan. A DSCR loan only requires 10% down. I can get 90% financing, and I can get multiple DSCR loans. It's stated income, and I'm able to come in and get my $100,000, $150,000 with this Credit Line Hybrid program and use that to cover my down payment. So now let's say I go buy a property for $500,000. Well, I can get a DSCR loan that covers 90% of that. So I only need $50,000 down. So if I use Credit Line Hybrid to get $150,000, well, then I can use $50K from my Credit Line Hybrid program to cover my down payment for that $500,000 house. Then I can go buy another $500,000 house on a DSCR loan and another. You get the idea. So this really works well in conjunction with other kind of financing, right? So if I'm getting a DSCR loan or fix and flipper, I'm getting the financing from another type of real estate investing product that I'm able to use this program, my Credit Line Hybrid, to cover my down payment and get into properties with really little to no money down. So Credit Line Hybrid is a good program if you have good personal credit. And you don't have to have good personal credit. You can have a guarantor that does, a family member, a friend, another investor, somebody else that wants to get into the real estate investing business but doesn't want to put in the work, right? Any of these are good scenarios for you to be able to use somebody else's credit instead of your own. And you could definitely use that to acquire the property, all of the property, or use it to cover the down payment and get another kind of financing to buy the property to get in with little to no money down. Now, there's another side of business credit as well, and that's the side I really want to talk about today, because this is the side you can get without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. So your personal credit quality doesn't matter. So let's say your personal credit's not good. Let's say you have no personal credit. Well, you're still able to use this kind of business credit and be able to get high limit credit cards without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. Let's say you have good personal credit, but you don't want to put inquiries on your personal credit report. Well, this kind of credit is really good for that purpose as well. This kind of credit is where your business can basically fund itself. You're building a credit profile. You're building a credit score for your business. You're using that established credit profile and score to qualify for all this types of credit that you're able to use for multiple different types of real estate investing. Now, this type of corporate credit is really good for a lot of different things in real estate investing, including the fixed part of fix and flip. So I might be able to go out and find a lender that does fix and flip financing, and then they cover a large part of the money, even 100% of the money I need to buy the property. but now I need to rehab the property and they're not going to cover all those costs. Well, then I can use business credit for that. I can go get credit at Labor Ready and Home Depot and Lowe's and IKEA and all these different places that I need to buy things to furnish the house, or most importantly, to be able to rehab the property. So I can really use business credit to do almost all of the rehab part of fix and flip. So if I'm going to buy a property and fix it and flip it, well, business credit cards, these credit cards at all these retailers, Amazon, for example, I can buy all my supplies at all these places using these kind of high limit business credit cards that don't require a credit check, don't require a guarantee, that I can get as a real estate investor, even if I'm a brand new real estate investor. So very, very powerful. Now, business credit cards can also be used, and all these type of credit cards can be used for actually furnishing the property. So one of my good friends only builds $2 and $3 million properties that he puts on Airbnb. Okay. I mean, makes a ton of money, like 7 figures a year with like less than 5 properties that he owns. It's crazy. But in order to do that, he's got to furnish these properties. And these properties take hundreds of thousands of dollars to furnish them. So I've helped him use business credit to do the furnishing, right? He can go to IKEA, he can go to Walmart, he can go to Amazon, he can go to HP and Dell and Apple and Best Buy to buy electronics and TVs and refrigerators and appliances. So he's using business credit cards to go out and furnish the actual property. So now he can go get a $50,000 Best Buy credit card, and Best Buy sells all the appliances, right? They sell all the surround sound. They sell all the TVs. They sell a lot of the electronics that's needed for that property. Now that's $50K he doesn't have to come up with out of pocket because he's using business credit to actually furnish the property. Whether it be IKEA, Walmart, Amazon, wherever you're buying stuff, you could basically get credit. Even there's like Bob's Furniture. There's all kinds of places out there that are furniture stores that give you this kind of corporate credit cards, $30,000 to $50,000 limits without guarantees and credit checks. So we could use business credit to do the fix part of fix and flip. We could do it to furnish properties if we're going to have furnished long-term or short-term rentals. But we can also use business credit to fix and maintain the property. If I have a long-term renter in my property and they move out, then more than likely they might have damaged the drywall. They might have done some damage to the floor. They might have tore out ceiling fans. Well, I can use business credit to fix all of that stuff, right? Maybe an AC unit goes out in my property. That could be $10,000, $15,000 unexpected, right? Maybe I need to hire a roofing company, but I could use business credit to pay for all the roofing supplies that I need. So business credit can be used to maintain the property as well. So now we're seeing that these no personal guarantee, no credit check credit cards are going to be able to be used for the fixed part of fix and flip, to be able to furnish properties for short-term and long-term rentals, to be able to do any kind of maintenance work or rehab work on the properties when people do damage, or just the normal stuff that's involved, like putting gutters on and all the stuff that's normal part of maintenance for a home. And that is probably one of the best uses of where business credit is. So when you start combining this with other kind of financing, fix and flip financing, regular mortgages, DSCR loans, then what can happen is business credit can help you get into these properties with little to no money down. And then business credit and business credit alone can be used to furnish the property, to maintain the property, to do the rehab of the property. And so again, this is all money you're able to get without a guarantee and credit check. So even if you're just getting started in real estate investing, business credit can and should be one of the most powerful assets you have to build a real estate empire, because it is so versatile in these ways. Now, if you want a shortcut step-by-step guide to be able to access this kind of business credit, you can grab it at creditsuite.com/EIN. At creditsuite.com/EIN, you can grab our guide that maps out the exact steps of business credit building. It's 100% free to get. And this has been downloaded like over 1 million times. It's like the Bible of business credit building. It gives you starter vendors to get started with, the exact steps to take to build business credit, the credit you should be getting every step along the way. Everything you need to successfully build your business credit is right there. And if you got value from this training, well, smash the like button and subscribe, and keep your eye out for our next trainings as well as our past trainings, because we have trainings on using business credit for real estate, different types of financing available for real estate, so many other trainings that can help you along the way get the capital you need to build the real estate empire with really little to no money out of your pocket. So hopefully you got value from this training. And if so, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe, and keep your eye out for our next training. We're talking about more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business.